Welcome to the Home Organizing for Beginners podcast. In today's episode, I'll share what you are missing from your home organizing strategy that prevents you from actually getting and staying organized. Let me give you a super short introduction in case you're new here. I'm Tammy, a busy wife and mom with a household to manage just like you. For most of my kids' infant to tween years, I experienced debilitating self-doubt in how I managed all the things at home and work because of the perfection our society puts on us as moms. I had nothing in my toolbox to combat that self-doubt and perfectionism, and I suspect you don't either. After finally recognizing that my home wasn't the peaceful home that I wanted it to be, I began to research and study what I could do about it. Through a really sad event, I found myself at church. At that time, I hadn't realized the connection between my desire to make changes in my home and winding up at church, but now I know God does work in mysterious ways. In this podcast, you'll get tangible and simple instructions about home organizing, cleaning, and time management. Instructions that keep you, your family, your current season of life at the core, all while glorifying God in the process so that you and your family can finally find true peace and joy. So buckle up and listen in because we are getting right to the point. So, what's missing from your home organizing strategy? Is that the question you're asking yourself right now? Community. It is having community that really makes a difference. So, I have this friend, and she has been telling me for quite a while that in home organizing for beginners, I really need to offer a community feature. And I haven't listened until now. The reason that I'm going to make this happen is because when I recently wrote a newsletter for my subscribers, what I wrote made me realize that it was in fact community support that I received on a whole different subject years ago that really spurred this big positive change in my life. So I want to share more about that. I do want to share more about that, but I want you to consider what joining other moms working on their home organizing and the same things that you're working on, what that can do to help you in your own journey. So I'm going to give you 3 things. First of all, I think you're like me and you struggle to ask for help, especially from people you personally know. Asking in this community where you know that you're all in it together, it gives you a boost of confidence to just ask. Second, sometimes we get stuck. We can't figure out what the best next steps are. We can't figure out why we want to keep, I don't know, I have a maternity top or 2 that I've kept. I don't know exactly why, but I'm a fairly sentimental person. But maybe you struggle with that, and the community can help you explore why you're stuck, and they can help you move past it. Third, when you're in community with others similar to you, you find out that you aren't alone. You learn that you aren't the only one that struggles to keep your household neat and orderly. We need this because in our society right now, we see the images of perfection everywhere, whether it's from Pinterest or Facebook or TikTok. People make things like this and managing our homes look so easy, but we don't see what's behind the scenes, right? We don't see what's outside of the view of the camera. So even when we walk into a friend's home and it's so clean and inviting, we desire that and we wonder what is wrong with us that we can't manage our home that way too. So honestly, there are so many reasons I could share with you why being part of a community of like-minded moms working on these things too, what it can do for us. But in the interest of time and to help you consider this more, I want to share a bit about what participating in a community did for me. So looking back at this experience that I'm going to share with you, I have made the decision that I'm going to create this community, right? And I've already said that, but we're going to discuss all the things related to managing our homes, which extends beyond time management. It extends beyond really how to organize the pantry. There's so much more to it than that because we have families, we have spouses, we have jobs, we have to deal with sports, we have to, work with other people. We have a lot going on and it all goes together. It all comes in together. And we can talk about our faith and our spirituality. All of these things roll up together to work towards finally having a peaceful and joyful home. And that's what I want for you. So you can learn more about all of this at www.homeorganizingforbeginners.com. You simply enter your email and hit subscribe. So what I'm going to do, what I decided to do, instead of kind of ad-libbing this experience, I am going to read it directly from my newsletter. This is what made me realize that I had to create this community. So I'll put the link in the show notes for the full newsletter, but I'm going to read it right now. So it's titled, A Letter to Your Heart from Mine. Somewhere in 2015, I got involved in an MLM, and though money would never actually be made, the community aspect was so beneficial. At the urging of a friend in this community, I began listening to podcasts. The podcast grew to listening to books on audio. These things began to change me and the way that I looked at myself. More than anything, I became aware that I was sabotaging my own peace and joy. I began to realize the level of damage my pursuit of perfection was having on my relationships with my husband and children. I felt so alone in everything because of my own actions and my own thoughts. The awareness pushed me to continue reading, researching, and studying what I could do to change my mindset. Over time, my mindset did shift away from pursuing perfection. Instead, I began to pursue knowledge and ways to implement what I was learning, whether it was different parenting techniques or how to give myself a break. My confidence in my own knowledge grew in how I managed my home. I began to believe that I was actually a pretty good mom and wife. So that's just a snippet from the newsletter. And again, you can access that. I'll put the link in the show notes. That's what I have for you today. I pray that what I shared with you will help you work towards the peaceful home that you desire. Have a fun and productive weekend. I'll be back here next week sharing tangible and simple instructions about home organizing, cleaning, and time management. I'll see you then.